This is a question that's actually going to compare the three different methods, or we're going to make three different calculations. One, we have the average rate of return. Two, the cash payback method, and the net present value method. We have all three of those. This is exercise number 6 from chapter 10. It says Great Plains Transportation is considering acquiring equipment at a cost of $165,000. The equipment has an estimated life of 10 years and no residual value. Expected to provide yearly net cash flows of $33,000. The company's minimum desired rate of return is 10%. If we go down here, it says first let's calculate the average rate of return. Remember how we calculate the average rate of return. We're going to find first the average investment. So the average investment is the initial investment, which is $165,000 plus the residual value, if any. So I'm going to take 100 and that was 65. Yes, 165,000 plus 0 is 165. I'm going to divide that by 2, and that equals 82,500. My average income is $33,000, or cash flows actually, is $33,000. So this calculation is going to be 33,000 divided by 82.5. That's 40%. 40%. So I would plug in 40%. This question, listen carefully, is flawed in the textbook. I'm going to allow some points at the end of the semester to take care of that. It's only a partial point anyway. But let me show you what happens. When you plug that in, if you plug in the correct answer, which is 40% in my case, and I check that, it's going to give me a wrong answer. It says it's wrong. That is correct, but the question's wrong. They have made a calculation error. So my 40% is correct, so please follow my calculation. What they're looking for as a correct answer is half of that number, and that's where they did not find the average on the investment, and that is an incorrect calculation. So I'm just letting you know that's where that's coming from. So don't get frustrated with that one being incorrect. Okay? The correct answer is actually 40%, but this question is flawed. Next, we can find out what's the cash payback period. The cash payback period, we have the 165,000 divided by 33,000. So cash payback, we take the 165,000, divide that by 33,000. $5 years. So we can go over here, plug that in for 5. And that part of the question is correct. I'm going to put my 40 back in there, which is the correct answer. Compute the net present value using the above table for the present value of an annuity, the present value of the cash flows. Okay, we need to come up here and it says use the 10% and it's 10 years. So I'll go down to the column, and that equals 6.145. So I'm going to take the 10-year column, 10 years, and 6.145, I'm going to multiply that times $33,000. That equals $202,785. My original amount invested, $165,000. I can subtract that number from my net cash flows, and it looks like I get $37,785. Check my work. And of course, as I said, that portion is incorrect, as I mentioned, and that's a grading issue with a problem. And I can't fix that, but I'll adjust your grade at the end of the semester to take that into consideration. So I've now calculated this question.